Welcome once again, my fellow manipulators of digital fate. I'm Richie, this is Capricorn. Today's deck is called Yotian Bulldozer. Or is it Yotian Bulldozer? I don't know. The very first artifact creature I ever played with as a kid was Yotian Soldier over 20 years ago, and I always pronounced it Yotian, but as an adult I think maybe it's Yotian. If you know, post it in the comments, because I really have no idea. But this deck in particular leverages Yotia Declares War, and it does some really cool things. We'll get into it. It's very aggressive, and it can get wins out of nowhere. Before we get to the deck, please like the video, subscribe, click the bell notification icon so that you never miss an upload. We're trying to grow the channel to 1,000 subscribers. If we get to 1,000, we're going to do a 24-hour stream where everyone in chat can challenge me to games, and if they win, I crack a pack on stream, and I mail those cards out to that person. I can sign them if they want, or not if they think it's corny, whatever. But we're really trying to get to the 1,000, so we'd really appreciate all the help we can get. With all that out of the way, let's get to the deck. Alright, the Yotians are upping their game. No longer do they have just soldiers, now they've got bulldozers. And what do I mean by that? Well, it comes in the form of two new cards. The first of which is Yotia Declares War. Now this is a new saga. It's 1 red and 1. Has read ahead. On chapter 1, you can create a 0/2 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying named Ornithopter. On chapter 2, you can tap any number of untapped artifacts you control, and when you do, Yotia Declares War deals that much damage to any creature or planeswalker. And then on chapter 3, you get to turn one of your artifacts into a 4/4 creature until end of turn. We've also got this Weatherlight Compleated here. Now this is a 5/5 flying legendary artifact vehicle for 2 mana. As long as it has 4 or more Phyresis counters on it, it becomes a Phyrexian creature in addition to its other types. Whenever a creature of yours dies, you put a Phyresis counter on it and you scry one. If it's the 7th Phyresis counter, you draw one instead, and then every time a creature dies after that, you get to draw a card, which is pretty cool. Now, how we're trying to utilize this is we make the Ornithopter with Yotia Declares War, or we have a Weatherlight Compleated. Either way will work. We get to chapter 3 on Yotia Declares War, and we turn either our flying Ornithopter or our Weatherlight into a creature. And what's cool about this interaction is Weatherlight Completed doesn't have to actually be a creature yet through Phyresis counters. It can be turned into a creature with chapter 3 of Yotia Declares War, and it still retains the flying static ability that's on the vehicle itself. So that's really cool. So either way, whether it's targeting our Ornithopter or targeting our Weatherlight, we're getting a 4/4 flyer, and usually it's out of nowhere and our opponent doesn't see it coming. So if we're able to get that 4/4 flyer and then follow it up with Michiko's Reign of Truth, we can oftentimes just smash in for 8 damage, 10 damage, 12 damage, evasive in the air. Our opponent doesn't see it coming, they don't have a blocker, and we just kill them outright. And to be able to top off a very fast, aggressive deck with a playline like that is just incredibly powerful. So Michiko's Reign of Truth itself is a white saga for 1 white and 1. On chapter 1 and 2, you give one of your creatures +1/+1 for each artifact and enchantment you control until end of turn. And on chapter 3, you exile the card, bring it back as an enchantment creature, Portrait of Michiko, which itself gets +1/+1 for each artifact and or enchantment you control. So it's cool about that. There's extra synergies with the Yotia Declares War, because when Yotia Declares War comes into play on chapter 1, you're making the O2 Ornithopter, which counts as an artifact, plus you're getting the Yotia Declares War itself, which counts as an enchantment. So this one card counts as 2 hits for Michiko's Reign of Truth, which can really help put the deck over the top. Now, prior to getting to any of those play lines, it's just an incredibly aggressive deck. The main thing we're trying to do in the early game is play Patchwork Automaton on 2. This is a 2-drop 1/1 construct with Ward 2. It's an artifact creature. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, you put a +1/+1 counter on Patchwork Automaton. So we want to drop this on 2. We want to beef it up with all of our other artifacts. We want to swing in for as much damage as we can early before we get to our crazier play lines later in the game to finish it out. Now, our 1-drops are Hotshot Mechanic, because it's a 2/1 Savant Alliance for 1 mana, but it counts as an artifact, triggers all of our artifact synergies. We've also got 4 copies of Goldhound, because the first strike and menace is incredibly important. You can target it with Michiko's Reign of Truth to make it a huge first strike menace creature. You can make it into a 4/4 with chapter 3 of Yotia Declares War and still have that first strike and menace. but you can also sacrifice it to ramp out a spell that you really need, and then also have that sacrifice trigger Weatherlight Completed and put a counter on it. So like if Weatherlight's sitting at 3 counters and you have a Goldhound in play, you kind of have control over, okay, I'm going to sack my dude, I'm going to turn Weatherlight into a 5/5 flyer, and I'm going to swing in to close out the game. And that can be incredibly important as well. We've also got 3 Rabbit Batteries, because it's a hasty little dude that can get in some early damage, and we can also equip it to things the turn they come into play to give it haste, and make sure we can get in for extra damage a lot earlier, which can be very important in this deck as well. It can be good when Michiko's Reign of Truth transforms into the creature side. Lots of cool stuff we can do with Rabbit Battery. We've also got Reinforced Ronin. We've got 3 copies of this, because this is a 2/2 haster who can get in a lot of early damage, but we can also just keep bringing it back to our hand and replaying it to keep triggering the Patchwork Automaton and keep putting counters on it, and that seems really good. And then we can just channel it away if we really need a better card. We've got 4 Kumano Faces Kakkazan. Now this is the optimum turn 1 play. We get an extra point of damage in on the opponent. On chapter 2 we get to put a +1/+1 counter on whatever creature we can play. Usually we want that to be Patchwork Automaton. And then on chapter 3 we get an extra 2/2. Rounding out the deck at the top end here, well, not the top end, but cards that are not aggressive, we'll say. We've got 4 Experimental Synthesizers, because for 1 red mana, we can oftentimes draw into that land we need to play, or just get that extra bit of value that we need in order to close out the game. In the late game, we can sack this to make an extra dude. We can trigger Weatherlight Completed if it's a creature. If we turn it into a creature with Yotia Declares War, swing with it, then sack it, it'll trigger Weatherlight Completed, so that can be pretty cool. We can also sack it to Voltage Surge. Now this is our removal spell of choice. We've got 4 of these. This one's pretty obvious. We can hit anything for 2 damage at instant speed, or we can sack one of our artifacts to do 4 damage to something that's bigger. And if it's a creature that we're sacking, again, we're triggering Weatherlight Completed, which is pretty cool. And then we've got just 1 Eater of Virtue. This is a 1 mana legendary equipment. It gives the equipped creature +2/+0 for only 1 mana equip cost. And it also, any creature that dies while this is attached to it, it'll retain all of the static abilities or all of the keyword abilities on that creature. So it can get flying from the Ornithopter or the Weatherlight. It can get haste from Reinforced Ronin or Rabbit Battery. It can get First Strike and Menace from Goldhound. There's some really cool things you can do with just the 1 copy of Eater of Virtue. We also get Thran Portal in Dominaria United, which is incredibly important for this deck, because this deck does not want to have a tapped land. It does not want to miss out on playing absolutely as much as it can every turn while you're curving out. But you also need 2 colors of mana in order to make sure you're playing all of your cards. So this can count as red or white, whatever we need, and come into play untapped in the early game. We round out the lands with Sundown Pass, Sokenzan, Mountain Plains, Eiganjo. The deck's pretty nutty. It can do a lot of really cool shit. And it gets there super, super fast. You'll see in the games coming up. A lot of times, Yotia Declares War just comes out of nowhere, and we can just smash through for a ton of flying damage that our opponent doesn't see coming after getting them to half-life with a lot of aggressive early plays. And the deck's just really good. Let's move on to the games. This is not slow. This looks pretty good. We'll keep it. So we'll go 1 red, Goldhound. We'll go another red, Automaton. And we'll smash in for 1. Since we definitely aren't blocking the underdog. Liliana.
No more distractions. Let's make this quick.
Ah, one of your friends has to leave.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. No attacks. Not that turn. Would you like us to discard a mountain relief?
I'm tired of your secrets.
That is fine. It's a fine play. Ooh, that's real tempting. That is real tempting. To just make them super big. I think we can wait until next turn. Put out a nice Ornithopter, no attacks. Would you like me to sack an Ornithopter, Lily? I could do that for you. Oh, you do.
Knew this was wicked.
I've always hated
Okie doke. Another Lily. How rude.
A fight? And you think you can win?
Fine.
Sacrifices must be made.
Come at me. We'll kill the underdog. We'll go Goldhound. We'll go Yotia Declares War. Chapter 1. Now let's see what you got. And he scoops. Turn 2. Yotia Declares War is usually not when you want to play it. Unless you have a 1-drop out already, sometimes there's a scenario where it's okay. This hand looks fine. We'll keep it. We'll go Mountain, Rabbit Battery, smack for 1. Then we'll go white. Play out you. Play out another Rabbit Battery. Smack for 2. More than likely, it's Yotia Declares War next turn. And if we need to, we can kill something. Just started on chapter 2. Alright. We're gonna go Synthesizer. Mountain. Yotia Declares War. We'll start it on 1. So now, if he plays something nasty next turn, we can just kill it. We could probably even just kill it with just the Synthesizer and the Ornithopter, tapping them to Yotia Declares War, and still swinging in. We'll see. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Chico's Reign of Truth is going to give +7/+7. He could be very dead next turn. Yeah, he's dead. He's so dead. Could I resolve my ability, please? Submit 0. Target my own Ornithopter, because why not? Michiko's Reign of Truth. Now this first one's going to target our Ornithopter, because if he has instant speed removal, we want to lose the thing that's going to make us lose the least amount. We'll go white of damage. So we'll swing 11. It's pretty gross. Okay. That's a pretty good foil. Let's reconfigure this. Put it on this. Just that way if they kill one, we're left with one. Or if they somehow sweep, like a meat hook, we still have something to target next turn. We should still win. We have a lot of damage coming next turn. A lot. Chapter 3 from Yotia Declares War gives us an extra 4 points of damage. And then this will give us an extra 6. And then this will give us 7. It's a lot. It's very a lot. You. 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 How much removal do you have, sir? I bet it's not enough. Well, I did not kill your father, and I was not prepared to die. But it's very powerful. We'll keep 7. Fine with this. Sundown Pass, into Mountain, into Patchwork. Weaver. Alright. Patchwork. Next turn we'll go Synthesizer and see what we hit. Spirited Companion. We'll draw an extra card. Alright, Synthesizer. Kumano. Hotshot Mechanic. Smack 3. It's artifacts versus enchantments, guys. It's science against nature. Holiday Haunting. That might be too slow. We can't use our Reigns of Truth yet, though, right? We gotta go wide. We gotta go wide. Gotta go wide. Smack for 4. Alright, next turn should be pretty fucking brutal. Visitor. What else? What else you got for me? Spirited Companion. Gonna copy it? Oh, he is gonna copy it. He doesn't realize how much pressure I'm putting on him next turn. So what do? Kill the Generous Visitor? Kill the Weaver? Submit 2. Kill the Weaver. Get out of here. Get out of here, you bum. And then we do... I don't think we do Rabbit Battery. I think we do Goldhound. And then Reign of Truth. And we put the Reign of Truth on this boy. And do some smacking in. I'm not gonna bring in the Hotshot Mechanic because he can kill it with his 1/1 Spirited Companion. We don't want that. If he chumps with the 1/1, we want it to just die and not trade. So I assume he blocks the 12 power guy with the 1/1. He might take the other 7. Or he might chump with the 2/2 Spirited Companion. Maybe trade it with the Etching. I think that's what I would do. Trade the 2/2 with the Etching. Chump the 12. Take 5. Keep the Generous Visitor and the Spirit. Let's see if he does it. Nope, he wants to save the life. Oh. He's going all the way. Okay. I don't think that was correct. That had the potential to grow this turn because of the other Hallowed Haunting. Alright, so he's gonna pay 2, eat my Automaton. No, he didn't. Wow. He must have other things he needs to play. Plays Wedding Announcement, gets another counter, gets another Spirit. That is fine. Up to 1. You. We're just gonna kill you. That's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna kill you with the Ornithopter. Dude, Ornithopter wins the game. Who'd have thunk it? Complete truth. Complete truth. Complete. Yeah, we'll keep this. Good lord. Kumano. Adversary smashes for 2. I'm faster. I am faster. Smash 4. How about that? How about that, Junior Varsity? He's thinking, can I race this kid? And I'm thinking, no, you cannot. I gotta think for a second. Shock it now, or forever hold your peace. Infernal Grasp. Boo. Would you like to trade? Sure. Kumano. Alright. He's almost out of gas. We are not. Corpse Appraiser, that's fine. That is fine. I think we've gotta... if we don't hit a land, we're in real rough shape. We gotta bite the bullet on this one. Just play the Automaton, get the counter. Next turn we play the Synthesizer, so we hopefully draw a land off the top, or if not, we draw one with the Synthesizer. No blocks. Come on, white land. Do we smash with everything? Probably not. Just do this guy. Get him to 6. Next turn we can Yotia Declares War and Reinforced Ronin. Might be able to just win here. No blocks. Yeah, we win. We win. Submit 3. Target the automaton. Did I do that right? Q. No. Needed to do something else. Oopsie. Let me think. I think I might have goofed this one. For sure. I forgot that when we turn something into a creature with Yotia Declares War, it doesn't always have flying. It's just that we almost always choose the Ornithopter. I mean, I think we can still win. Tap any number. Might as well. I think we still win here. Punting and still winning. Feels good. Feels good that this deck can just punt and punt and punt and still win. Thanks so much for checking out my channel. We are pushing hard for that 1,000 subscriber mark, so please consider subscribing. Hit that button. There's a circle in the middle over there. Hit that. Subscribe. Tell all your friends to do it. Thank you. Also, give this video a like so more people can see it. If you'd like more PlayStation and console game coverage, we've got that down below. And if you'd like more Magic the Gathering coverage, there's more of that somewhere off over that way. Do all the things.